Deep in the heart of Rome, behind the towering marble columns and golden mosaics of the Vatican, a quiet tension simmers. To the casual observer, all seems peaceful. Tourists snap photos of St. Peter's Basilica, and whispers of ancient prayers echo through sacred halls. But beneath this serene surface, a seismic shift is unfolding, one that could reshape the spiritual leadership of over 1.3 billion Catholics worldwide. Pope Francis, a reformer whose bold gestures and daring vision have sparked both admiration and controversy, is nearing the end of his transformative chapter. Now the world watches as the ancient, secretive process to choose his successor begins. Who will wear the fisherman's ring next? Buckle up, because we're diving into the drama, the stakes, and the top 10 cardinals who could become the next pope. The answer lies in the College of Cardinals, a group of senior clergy, often called the Princes of the Church. These men, hailing from every corner of the globe, will soon gather in the Sistine Chapel for a moment of spiritual reckoning. This isn't just a vote, it's a clash of ideologies, a tug-of-war between progress and tradition, all wrapped in prayer and secrecy. No phones, no outside communication, just ballots and the weight of divine responsibility. Black smoke signals indecision. White smoke announces a new pope. As the world waits in St. Peter's Square, hearts pound, eyes fixed on a chimney. Who will step onto that balcony? Let's meet the contenders who could lead the Catholic Church into its next era. Number 10. Cardinal Vying, the Doctor of Doctrine. Kicking off our list is Cardinal Vying, the 71-year-old Archbishop of Utrecht. Before answering the call to priesthood, Vying was a medical doctor, healing bodies with clinical precision. But he traded the operating room for the cathedral, driven to treat what he sees as society's deeper ailment, moral and spiritual drift. Known for his firm stance on doctrine, Vying has voiced concerns about the Church's growing ambiguity on issues like marriage and communion. To his fans, he's a soul surgeon, unwavering and essential. To critics, he's too anchored in the past to guide the Church through modern complexities. Could a Dutch pope, with a doctor's steady hands, unify a divided flock, or would his rigid defense of tradition deepen the cracks? The conclave will decide. Number 9. Cardinal Fridolin Ambongo Bisungu, the Lion of Africa. Next up, from a vibrant, faith-filled heart of Africa, is Cardinal Fridolin Ambongo Bisungu, the 65-year-old Archbishop of Kinshasa. In a continent where Catholicism is thriving, Ambongo's voice roars far beyond his diocese. Nicknamed the Lion of Africa, he's a passionate defender of traditional values. When debates swirled around blessing same-sex unions, Ambongo drew a firm line, reaffirming church teachings while respecting human dignity. His stance resonated across African dioceses, cementing his reputation as a fearless leader. An African pope, a historic first, feels closer than ever, with Catholicism's center shifting south. But his resistance to progressive reforms could fracture the conclave. Is the world ready for a lion on Peter's throne? Stay tuned. Number 8. Cardinal Raymond Burke, the defender of tradition. At number 8, we meet a polarizing figure, Cardinal Raymond Burke, the 76-year-old American from Wisconsin. With his regal bearing and fierce commitment to tradition, Burke is a symbol of resistance to modern shifts in church doctrine. A vocal critic of Pope Francis's initiatives, he defends the Latin Mass and questions pastoral reforms. To his supporters, he's a spiritual warrior in scarlet robes, guarding timeless truths. To detractors, he's a relic of a rigid past. An American pope would be a historic shift, but Burke's unapologetic vision could resonate with cardinals craving clarity. Could this traditionalist step from the shadows to lead? The stakes are high. Number 7. Cardinal Peter Erdo, the silent strategist. Coming in at number 7 is Cardinal Peter Erdo, the 72-year-old Archbishop of Budapest. Reserved and scholarly, Erdo flies under the radar but wields serious influence in European theological circles. Trained in civil and canon law, he champions order, tradition, and intellectual clarity. While avoiding the spotlight, Erdo defends core teachings on marriage and doctrine, favoring a church as a fortified stronghold over a field hospital. His quiet consistency could surprise the conclave. A Hungarian pope might seem unlikely, but Erdo's methodical mind could unify conservatives. Will the cardinals rally behind this strategist, or will he remain in the background? Number 6. Cardinal Mario Grech, the visionary reformer. At number 6, we find Cardinal Mario Grech, the 67-year-old Maltese prelate at the heart of the Vatican's evolving vision. As Secretary General of the Synod of Bishops, Gretsch is the architect of Pope Francis's ambitious synod on synodality, a bold effort to make the Church more inclusive through open dialogue. Supporters see him as a bridge builder, connecting voices across continents. Critics worry his progressive leanings risk diluting doctrine. A pope from tiny Malta leading the world's largest religious body. It's a wild thought, but Gretsch's soft-spoken leadership could steer the Church into uncharted waters or spark division. The conclave faces a tough call. Number 5. Cardinal Matteo Zuppi, the diplomat of mercy. Halfway through, we meet Cardinal Matteo Zuppi, the 69-year-old Archbishop of Bologna, known as the Peacemaker. A seasoned diplomat, Zuppi has brokered ceasefires in war-torn nations and champions Pope Francis's vision of mercy and humility. His pastoral, inclusive style, listening before speaking, embracing before judging, makes him a modern pope's ideal. Picture Zuppi on St. Peter's balcony, extending hope to a divided world. His kindness is a balm, but some question if it's tough enough for global leadership. Can compassion alone navigate the Vatican storms, or does the Church need a firmer hand? The cardinals will weigh this carefully. Number 4. Cardinal Robert Sarah, the defender of the sacred. At number 4, we encounter Cardinal Robert Sarah, the 78-year-old Guinean prelate whose journey from a remote village to Vatican leadership is extraordinary. Known for his deep spirituality and defense of tradition, Sarah's books on silence and fidelity resonate with millions. A staunch supporter of the Latin Mass and moral clarity, he warns against secular compromises. An African pope rooted in sacred tradition could reintroduce ancient rites and call the faithful to prayer. To supporters, he's a prophetic voice. To critics, his vision clashes with modern flexibility. At 78, his age is a hurdle, but his spiritual fire burns bright. Will the conclave embrace this guardian of the sacred? Number 3. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, the Heart of Asia. Rising to number 3 is Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, the 66-year-old Filipino whose warmth and charisma have earned him the nickname Asian Francis. Known for biking through Manila's streets to visit the poor, Tagle balances theological rigor with emotional authenticity. As prefect of the dicastery for evangelization, he radiates joy and inclusion, supporting pastoral outreach to the marginalized. A pope from Asia, the first ever, could shift the Church's center to its rising heartlands. But critics fear his empathy might be seen as softness in the Vatican's harsh realities. Can Tagle's light shine through, or will shadows dim his star? Number 2. Cardinal Pietro Parolin, the Master Negotiator. At number 2 is Cardinal Pietro Parolin, the 70-year-old Vatican Secretary of State. A seasoned diplomat, Parolin is the Church's navigator, steering through global turbulence with composure. Instrumental in ties with Cuba and the controversial Vatican-China agreement, he's a master of balance, neither too progressive nor too conservative. His reserved nature may not inspire masses, but his political finesse and institutional knowledge make him a compromise everyone can live with. A Parolin papacy would prioritize stability and strategy, but some fear it lacks the spark to energize the faithful. Will the cardinals choose this steady hand or seek a bolder voice? Number 1. Cardinal Christoph Schönborn, the philosopher's shepherd. At the top of our list is Cardinal Christoph Schönborn, the 80-year-old Archbishop of Vienna. A towering intellect and Dominican friar, Schönborn helped compile the Catechism of the Catholic Church and studied under Pope Benedict XVI. Yet it's his soul that shines, balancing mercy and doctrine, welcoming the alienated while holding fast to teachings. Admired by both reformists and traditionalists, he's a rare bridge in a divided church. At 80, his health and age suggest a transitional papacy, but what a transition it could be, a wise guide for a weary world. Will the conclave trust this philosopher shepherd to lead, or seek a younger, disruptive voice? The bigger picture, what's at stake? As the Sistine Chapel doors close, 120 cardinal electors will face a question that echoes through history. What kind of pope does the world need now? In a world of division, within nations, families, and the Church itself, some crave unshakable doctrine, others a church that listens and heals. The next pope could be young, bringing vitality, or older, offering wisdom. He might hail from Europe's deep roots or the global South's vibrant faith. He could be a theologian or a pastor, but above all, he must pray. The Church doesn't need a celebrity, it needs a servant, a unifier who speaks truth with compassion. The white smoke will rise, the bells will toll, and a man in white will step forward, bearing the prayers of millions. Whether from Rome, Kinshasa, or Manila, his voice will carry the Church's ancient faith into a new chapter. He'll face storms, abuse scandals, secularism, and internal divides, but with prayer he'll lead. The Church endures not because of perfect leaders, but because of Christ, its unshaken rock. So, who do you think should be the next pope? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories shaping our world.